Hello, Jeff Smith here from Boost Business. A little while ago I wrote an article called Not-for-Profit Rebuilder at our website at boostbusiness.co.nz, and that generated quite a lot of comment and inquiry to me. So I thought I'd just do a quick presentation on YouTube, less than 10 minutes, just highlighting the main points of that article and telling people how they can go about downloading some templates, which might be really handy if you're looking to rebuild a non-for-profit. First of all, non-for-profits exist to make a difference as opposed to normal businesses which exist to provide value to a shareholder or increase value to a shareholder. And like any organisation, a non-for-profit will go through cyclical stages of boom and bust, or good times and bad times. So what could possibly go wrong in a non-for-profit? Well, working with non-for-profits for a long time, 10-15 years or so, some of the common threads that I see are the following. Insularity. So non-for-profits in New Zealand especially are governed by, and you do provide compliance to organisations such as Department of Labour, IRD, Charities Commission, societies, organisation, whether you're a trust or an incorporated society. However, internally or to the beneficiary, there is no real accountability in a non-for-profit. Secondly, quite a lot of empire building goes on in non-for-profits. That's in itself not a bad thing, but if the whole reason for being is just to build an empire under the cloak of a non-for-profit, then that's probably not a great organisation to belong to, and it's not providing any value back to the beneficiary. Thirdly, jobs for the boys, and what I mean by that is most people in non-for-profits that I've come across anyway are very people, so they've got good hearts, they recognise talent when they see it, but sometimes the fit for the person doing the job is not always the correct one. A lot of the time existing relationships and past favours are called in, and that brings in either contractors or employees working for these non-for-profits, which might not be the right fit. And the last one there, deviated or wrong charitable purpose, sort of expands on that last one. Chair people, CEOs of non-for-profits recognise, and they've got the responsibility of all these people working for them, and the purpose of that non-for-profit, not written of course, slowly changes one from increasing value to a beneficiary to keeping people employed and keeping people in a job, which in itself is not bad, but for a non-for-profit which has got a job to do, it's not a good thing either. So I've just outlined 4 or 5 different principles, not really action steps, that we, or the chair of the board, or the board and the operational side of your non-for-profit could think about as they go to rebuild or turn around a non-for-profit. First principle, change the way we think. We all know the old adage, always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we always got. So changing the way they think might, and firstly here is the most important one, is think about beneficiaries as a shareholder. As explained before, shareholders in a company want value or increased value back from that company. If they don't, they get rid of their board and operational side. So we need to sort of think about, or change our thinking, get together a group of beneficiaries and discuss what they want and what they see as extra value add, and make that our ultimate measure. Secondly, full disclosure, so incorporating and bringing in a culture of honesty, openness and willingness as you go through this process and as your non-for-profit gets built and continues on. Thirdly, start managing by cash flow straight away, so that might mean slashing expenses, but just think about your cash flow as opposed to other things. 98% of the time when a non-for-profit's in trouble, it's generally to do with cash. Some action steps here. So incorporate some KPIs to your beneficiary, get a focus group together of the beneficiary or the end user of the services and see what they consider to be value. Start managing a 13, 26, 52, 104 week cash flow. 13 weeks at a minimum, because that way you'll capture most expenses that you'll get throughout a year, quarterly accounts. And someone's got to champion a bit of a cold heart. So this is before the process starts. Someone's got to be that devil's advocate, that it may be the CEO, maybe someone else externally, but someone's got to come in with a bit of a cold heart, entirely objective, and start to implement some of these actions that we'll talk about now. Second principle, reflect on the past, especially on what went wrong, which sort of goes in the face of common business wisdom these days, which is, look, let's just forget about the past, start again today and get on with it and achieve our objectives, which is great in normal commercial business. But when you've got a board looking after the governance, an operational side looking after the day-to-day, you really do need to lay all your cards on the table. Remember that honesty, openness and willingness. Put down what's happened, what went wrong, so we're just not doomed to make the same mistakes. And there's only two scenarios when we're asking the question what went wrong. One is the bolt of lightning and the other one's the boiling frog. So the bolt of lightning, pretty much self-explanatory, something happens out of the blue and overnight a non-for-profit can change. The boiling frog goes back to the old story. You chuck a frog in a pot of water, turn the heat on, put it on the oven, turn the heat on, and before he knows it, he's cooked because it's just the slow incremental stuff that's happened to him, or the temperature's slowly risen. And there's only one action step here, and here it is. It's a meticulous risk management plan with mitigation tactics. And that person with the cold heart's got to take that and implement it and carry out any results that come from that. Third principle, cut the fat, fairly self-explanatory, a line by line expenses. Look at those, where can we get rid of that? Someone's got to own it, that cold-hearted person again. But it's really important. This is probably going to be the bedrock of your new organisation that comes out of the process of these 5 principles. So it's really important that it's done. So action step, be methodical. We've got a list there, just a line. You can use your chart of accounts and maybe just go through those, but we've got a one-pager on our website. If you go to our website, click the non-for-profits and you can download all these templates in one hit. So it's just a line by line of what expenses you could look at cutting. And of course the fourth principle, cash now. The first, second and third agenda item should be, where's the money coming from? And this is not just for someone to do, this is all hands on deck. So really important focus as you go forward, or if you decide to turn your non-for-profit around, is where's the money coming from? It's a cash flow focus. Some of the things you could look at doing, suppliers, negotiating with them. Can you reduce some of that debt? Can you sell some stuff? Everybody needs KPIs. And the other thing you can do there is obviously fundraise to get some quick money. And once again, on that template, we've got some ideas for quick money fundraising. Rinsing and repeating. This alludes to the fact that you've taken your non-for-profit, you've started the turnaround process, which has been discussed over the past 10 minutes or so, and now you're ready to document best practice and just using a culture of Kaizen to keep improving on that. And of course, one of the best ways of doing that is to actually document a bit of a plan going forward. So we've got a template which you can download at our website, and it's a very simple template. Just fill it in and everyone's on board, including your governance and your operational. So you're starting at your beneficiary, what they see as value, translate to your vision, translate to your mission, in other words what you do, and your strategy, and all the way down to the daily actions. And you can download that template, and it's just a very simple. You can download business plans and other bits and pieces, or use your own best practice, but that's just, if you've got nothing, grab this. It's simple. It's a good way of communicating between the governance and the operational arm, and a really good way of getting that non-for-profit turned around and start growing and doing stuff properly. Thank you very much for looking at our presentation. Any questions, give me a call. You can go to our website. All our contact details are on our website. Have a great day.